I'm a creative trainer. Every movement is connected through my whole body. The variance of what's going to happen makes me have an intention of releasing to a state of creativity. I'm looking for stuff that I haven't trained. I'm looking for every space around me and how am I going to fill it?
You have a lot of famous videos, but when you're in the marketplace, I think are some of the more famous ones. What do you see when you walk in the supermarket?
It's definitely scary, really horrible, disgusting stuff, because processed rubbish food costs you your life, your mind and your body is the most important thing. If you're doing stuff to compromise that, you're not doing yourself a favour.
You were living your life, minding your business, and then something unexpected happened. You broke up with your missus, and that was something that really hit you hard.
Yeah, it's definitely a deep thing, because the last memory I ever get was my daughter at the top of the stairs sort of saying, don't leave. I could level out with nearly anybody. I was the man, you know what I mean? So when your partner turns around and says, I don't want this no more, it blows your mind, So I took that pain and used it as motivation to take myself into a life that I would enjoy.
Matthew, there's so many young men that are super confused and don't know what the hell is going on with their lives, their feelings, with the world.
We're simple human beings, and I try and keep it as beautiful and simple as possible to let them know that they are beautiful people. And it's just like, that's the simplest message you can get across. And then just noticing that if you're in a wave and you feel beautiful, so you have to teach your mind how to talk to you. You can't get away from being beautiful, being the best version of yourself. If you stay in fear, you're going to stay there. You'll stay in this little space. But if you're willing to walk out, take the fear with you, and you realise you can walk into abundance, create an amazing amount of abundance, you could dance and sing your heart out and create something that you've never even realised is possible.
The world is changing. Inspiration is everywhere. It has never been so easy to connect, share, and bring people together. We're learning from others and finding the best in ourselves. Challenging our beliefs. Sharing our vulnerability. Overcoming our fears. Transforming ourselves so we can transform the world. How far can we go?
This is London Real. I am Brian Rose. My guest today is... This is London Real. I am Brian Rose. My guest today is Matthew Lewis, aka Silverback Tarzan, the calisthenics athlete, hang gliding instructor, and social media phenomenon. You are known for your impressive feats of strength for a man over 50, as well as your nutrition advice, spiritual insights, and impromptu dance sessions. Your followers include heavyweight boxer Anthony Joshua and neuroscientist Dr. Andrew Huberman. Your goal is to spread awareness about the benefits of living a clean life while helping people embrace nature and seek out spirituality as a way to create connections with the planet and each other. Matthew, welcome to London Real.
Welcome, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. You know, I was minding my own business in Dubai in January, and before I go to bed, sometimes, although I know I shouldn't, I check the old Instagram, and you popped up. It was in the middle of the night, and you had your shirt off, and you were doing some training session outside. It was clearly cold. I think you might have had a plate on your back or something, and I was like, okay, who the fuck is this guy? And I was intrigued because I felt something real and raw. And then that was just bolstered by another video where you were dancing, you know, and not many guys feel comfortable dancing. And that was followed by another one where you're in the supermarket and you're like, I don't trust any of this food around me. And that was followed by another one where you were talking about connection and spirituality, followed by another one talking about drugs and alcohol and everything. And man, I just thought I got to have this guy on the show. Because you seem to be speaking truth to me.
Thank you,
So man, that's why you're here. Thanks for coming. And I was wondering, who is Silverback Tarzan?
Good question. I think that's done by perceiving, isn't it? I just enjoy playing in nature, if you like. I like playing and creating. So if I'm creating like now, I try not to pull any of my historical things that are going on in life and stuff that's happened to me, all that sort of stuff. You're always trying to enjoy creations because time's always moving forward. And me and you are sitting here right now, and there's I can't repeat what I've just done. I can't repeat these moves. And I'd like to fill my 60 years up, or how many years I live, to create a time of being able to share, not be selfish, create a body, help my body be the most efficient, that's going to give me the best reward from energy to output, and learning to have the vocabulary of filling my hours up of the day with the most beneficial things I can think of. So I'm not interested in digging anyone about anything, making horrible moves on people. I'm not interested in talking bad stuff because I know that we're in the middle of a creation. So what am I going to say, and what I'm not going to waste a word of rubbishness, if you like, a word of negativity. I'm not saying negativity is not out there, because tree can fall down, this could fall down on my head and stuff can happen, and I'm going to sit here and swear because something's happened. But in life, things happen, you move on, and how can you create a world, an environment, and a place where you can make the most of who you are, so when you look back in life, you don't regret the things that you've done. You haven't wasted minutes of your life chatting about stuff and other people in negative manners. And I put a lot of effort into thinking about my life and how to create my own skills all the time. How can I create and evolve into my mind thinking correctly? Because it's the biggest dopamine hit in the world, is to have a real environment and gaining that as my realism of my life. And hence sitting here today, or thank you to all my beautiful people that have given me such an opportunity. And just to keep it as simple, because the food means everything. To share the news of food, or share the reality of eating the real foods and the right foods, creates a very beautiful neurological peace in your body, because it's not under stress. It calms your nervous system. And yeah, I'm into being energetic and trying to do my best not to be the worst part of myself, if you like, to stay away from a lot of things that humans are. They're certainly dangerous. We're definitely dangerous things, and in our past, through years, genetics and stuff, we've had to do stuff to survive, and that's why we're here today. So genetically, we've got a half of madness, a half of evil. We've got half of all these things, and we're having an opportunity to live in this society now where we've got a beautiful opportunities to create. We've got so much analytics to say smoking's bad, this is bad. Humanity's having the hardest times to find its own peace in oneself, and just to bring us back to having our shoes off in the mud, dancing in the rain, jumping in the sea, noticing the flowers and the butterflies, having a hug, working on relationships so they come back and you feel bonded to people, making sure that you live your life how you would like to live it, not be done by economics to feel like you've got to chase everything, and to not feel like you've got to kill yourself to try and be something when you're the most amazing thing you could ever be in the first place. And that's given to us through the cosmos, if you like. And the cosmos, we're looking, from my perspective, my eyes are looking for the cosmos. I'm looking out for it. I'm tasting for the cosmos. I'm smelling and I'm hearing and I'm touching and I'm dancing and I'm doing everything for the experience of consciousness without going too wild. You know what I mean? That's gently what I'm about, because I can easily get caught in my head about, you have to be this, and you need to get your exam for that, and you need to get your job and your promotion, get your car, get all these different things. But it's all in your head. But how are you going to dance? How are you dancing now? How are you eating now? How's the person looking at you now? What feelings have you got now? What goosebumps have you got on your back now? What can you create now? How can you make the most of your little bit of time to be here? And will you look back in regret? Can I help to make sure I look back, and whenever it comes to me, I can go, whenever the end comes, I can go, I put as many hours thinking about not going down the dark roads and creating a world where I can help myself to be of value, to be for everybody else. Because if I can understand myself, I can let the noticing of my stuff, and if people like that type of thing, and like I say to all my followers and the lovely people and the beautiful people, have helped me embrace myself, which has given me the most amount of reward you could ever get in life for me.
You get emotional when you talk about your followers.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Why is that?
Emotional about what?
When you talk about your followers.
Yeah, just because it's a recognition of like being on your own, and it's just connections. You're getting connections everywhere, and us as people are getting a value together. And because I want a grassroots level of equalness. I don't want for everyone to be chasing and feeling empty. And I don't want people to feel like they haven't got what they need. And I don't want to feel like they're not cosmic. I want them to know that, like, I fly through the sky or whatever, and I've created it without the abundance of money. I've created it my own self through my own endorphins and my own hormones. In all the things I do have created a beautiful feeling in me. And if I can share that, and the people seem to notice and feel those feelings, and it's a very human thing to do because it's natural, and to get someone to feel themselves is a very emotional thing for me, for them to notice themselves. And if they can notice themselves, that's like, we're humanity, and if you're humanity and you're down, that means I'm not doing very well.
Yeah.
So like, I need to know that you're doing okay, because then I know that humanity is doing okay. And then from there, we've got a whirlwind of, we can create beauty in lots of ways. So the more whirlwind and grassroots level we can get, the more level of, the right testosterone levels, the right amount of minerals in your blood, and the right amount of confidence in yourself, and realizing that we're all blagging it, and no matter who anyone thinks they are, they're the same as me and I'm the same as them. And having that feeling from all my people and the followers and my family creates my peacefulness, and I know that someone feels okay because of that, and that's a really beautiful thing to feel like. That's a good thing, you know. It's like one of the best things in the world to know that we're causing a grassroots level, and they're not chasing economics, and they're not killing themselves. They're not getting sadder every day. They're not getting divorced today. They're understanding how to look after themselves, which is going to pass on to everyone watching them. And it's the start of some sort of level. It's the start of a connection. And because I'm humanity, everybody needs, we want to be all well. We all want relationships. We all want wife and kids, or husband and kids. And we're all after the same natural things, and everyone notices a beautiful blossom tree. If I show a blossom tree and get rewards of that, of someone commenting it and saying that's beautiful, I've given the hint of something simple to look at. It doesn't have to be something you're chasing. It's something that's in nature, and you don't have to chase to get that. You can go and swim in a river. You can go fishing and see how the water works. You can watch the birds and the bees. You can watch the kingfisher catching some fish. You can go for a walk in the wind. You can stand on the top of beachy head and dance in the thunderstorms. You can do lots of beautiful things that don't cost you pennies. You're not going to get nothing out of a car You get the rush. You go 100, I've been 100, couple of 100 mile an hour in a car, 180 odd mile an hour. It's a rush. I don't give a shit about the car. Don't care. I like the rush. Get me on a motorbike, get me on my bike and I zoom down a hill. It's a rush. If I go flying in my glider and I zoom around, there's characteristics of my own character and I'm flying around, I'm playing with birds and I'm playing with volcanoes, and I'm playing, in lands right in places you play on volcanoes. I've flown with hundreds of vultures and thousands of flights and done such beautiful things, but it's not got any, it's not, I haven't chased to do that. I've created it out of my skills in my life to think like that. So I want other people to, I feel the zest to create a situation where people feel at home in themselves, because that way we can help the planet at the same time.
You said, I am humanity. Not I am human. You said, I am humanity.
Yeah.
Are we all connected? Are we all one?
Definitely. From my perspective, yeah, definitely. Because if I know that if there's wars going on, for instance, and they're killing people, that hurts. That inside, I know that's not the right thing. That's not needed. And the thing about it, it's such a small world. Years ago, you get on a plane and you fly somewhere, and you'd think that's a long way. But now you know that's not far. So like Palestine, places like that are tiny little countries. It's like going to Brighton. They're bombing Brighton. It's a tiny place, and people need to realise it's tiny. And we're letting this happen, and they're literally only over there. You can literally drive to Palestine within a few days. It's just over there. And we are totally, there's a small minority that feel the power to go and take over the economics and hurt lots of things. And it's a tiny world. The abundance of the world is tiny. You only got to ask for something and that it will rock up, because the world's tiny. So you ask for a dream, it'll be there because it's tiny. Not years ago when I was a kid, I didn't really realise it was tiny, but then I start to get older and older and ask for stuff and it turns up. And the abundance is all out there and it's just there. If you've got the confidence to know it's tiny, you will look at it and you will go and find it. That's the same with me and humanity. You're only there. You're all there. These the fellas over there. We're all here. And that, when I drove to Morocco in my van, it took me a couple of days. And I'm in the Sahara Desert. I just drove there. It's tiny. I've just gone through all the way through Morocco with all these people, saying hi and things like that. And it's tiny. So when I think about these minorities of making it look like on the news and all these things going on, it's only over there. And it's a small group of people who are trying to control those trade lines and do all these different things. But that's not humanity. That's ego of the head of economics to make sure you've got trade runs of oils and all these different things to keep the power of their own monetized situations. This is not my life. This has nothing to do with my life. I don't want any of that stuff. And why should we have all these people everywhere in my humanity when I know that we're all dancing away, and over there they're suffering. And it's Brighton. It's like, it's just over there.
Right. So you feel that.
I feel that, yeah.
And you feel like it's your remit to make sure you uplift everybody. And you feel that lately through your social. Very much so, I'm guessing.
It's much more internal. What I've noticed is like a mirror. If I can go internally to myself and understand myself, everyone can see the simplicity.
Right.
So it's not necessarily I've got to do anything, but internally you have to find yourself.
Right. And
it will be seen. I haven't got to do anything. Literally nothing. But I do have to look after myself and play the game of my own insecurities, my own inhibitions, my own life, my own love, relationships. I have to work at it. If I was talking about dancing, if I'm dancing, I'm a big elf, I'm a strong bloke. And for me to dance back in a few years ago and start playing around with ballet and pirouetting, that was playing the biggest games of inhibitions, because I'm an alpha male and I'm supposed to be scary and big, and I hold myself to be something of a masculine man who can go and do things. And then I realised the biggest thing I could ever do for myself is to lose those inhibitions, because every inhibition, you get to a certain age, our ages, you've done all the stuff that's holding you back because of inhibition. So you've done all that. At 25, 30, you've been the man, you've done this, you've done that, you've been in boxing, you've fought this and done jobs and done all the things you need to do. Then suddenly you realise, I haven't millions of things I haven't done because I'm got inhibitions and I'm scared.
Right.
And there's a whole portfolio just opens up. Literally the biggest book catalogue of things you have never done. So to be in your mind and have a small mind and think that your inhibitions is the thing that keeps you like this, it keeps you small. The minute you realise you can go, okay, inhibitions, what does that word mean? What haven't I done? This is going to show me all the things I haven't done. And it means like skipping up the street, doing something when everyone looks at you, dancing around with a flower in your mouth, dancing in the mud because you come from the earth and grounding yourself, doing things that you're necessarily going to make you feel feminine. Like my daughter had a yes day last week, I call it on her birthday. And for me being an alpha male, the funniest thing for them to do is dress me pink hair, pink nails, and make me walk up the high street and I had to say hello to everybody with a big sign post on me saying today's yes day and it's my daughter's birthday. And I had to play totally pinked out and playing my inhibitions, and I thought it was beautiful because I wouldn't necessarily go and put pink nail varnish on. A couple of years earlier, my daughter said, can I put nail varnish on me? And I was like, whew, I'm not sure. And then this year, I'm like, yeah, do whatever you need to do, it's good. So like to be open up to all your inhibitions will crack your ego out to stop you being such a tiny person, right, to make you grow and envelope yourself in the abundance of the world because you're the only person that's making yourself small.
Right. And then when you grow, you can be of better service to others.
Yeah,
and they'll see themselves in you, or they'll see beauty in you.
They will see that and they'll recognise we're human. We're humanity. You will feel. Yeah. You will feel it. I haven't got to say a word. We will feel that. Yeah. It's a beautiful thing. You can't help but have a hug. Everyone wants a hug.
Yeah.
Everyone wants their family. Everyone wants a kids and family. Not everyone, but like most 99% of people, that's what they want in life. They grow up to aspire to have children and families. So that means that you're going to have to. The most beautiful thing I ever done once was when I had my baby and I walked into a gym and my baby was tiny, and the biggest ego of walking in gyms is because they're walking in there, gym people like got all their testosterone, all their steroids and stuff, and they're alpha mailing out and they're looking in the mirrors and stuff. And then if I walk in on my own, they're equal that because they can feel the men thing. And then suddenly you walk in there with a baby, they go, when they come down to sensitivity, they look at a baby and go, wow, I can't be scary and ugly when there's a baby there. You can't do that. If there's a baby there, it's showing you, look, this is us. You're as beautiful as this. So how big your ego is, you can't impress amongst the beauty of this. And it makes people go like that. And then suddenly a big alpha male will be going, oh, that's cool, that's beautiful, that baby's absolutely tiny, that's such a beautiful thing. Congratulations. So it brings people down to where you are. Nature, relationships, babies will bring you down to the level you're supposed to be at. Yeah. And that's not your egoic level, that's not your level, your cars or your big jobs. That's bringing you down to all of us are the same humanity. You've got beautiful little things inside you, beautiful insecurities, beautiful stuff, loads of love, and what you want is a hug. You want a hug, otherwise you'll be on the alcohol, you're going to soothe, you're going to take drugs because you're after a hug, because you're spiritually intertwined with the universe or the cosmos, and then because you're not getting that, you're going to smoke some shit, you're going to drink some stuff because you're having a void and you're filling your void up. Hence why you get into exercise like you do now, like I do, because that's a physical, filling my physical void, and then I look at that, what I've done, and I can see the visual of what I've done. So that's not a false void. That's me filling my voids up because it's a physical stuff I've done. I can look how I've accomplished and how I've gained. If you do drugs and alcohol and things like that, you'll have an empty void. You'll get the rush. You'll get all the things you need for a momentary period. You'll come back off of that stuff and boom, it's empty. And you're sitting in blindness and you're sitting in emptiness. You're sitting in a whale of emotional state and you don't know how to deal with that because you've taken on board a place where you haven't fulfilled something physical, what you're supposed to do, and now you've got holes in your life because you keep giving yourself false soothing. So like, yeah.
And all you needed was a hug.
All you needed was a hug.
So I drank every day for 30 years, and I had overdoses from drugs, and I almost killed myself. And I'm now sober 6 years. Best thing I've ever done. Jesus Christ. But all I needed was a hug, right? That is all I needed, Matthew. That's all I fucking needed.
Yeah, man, that's all you need.
But I didn't know where to get it. I think I wouldn't let people give me a hug too.
Exactly. Yeah, because you're alpha male. You ain't going up to no one and getting a hug, are you?
That's what I needed. I needed connection. I needed a hug. And since I couldn't get it, I drank. And every drink I had, I postponed that hug by not only just a day, but probably by another month, because I wasn't in the moment. I wasn't feeling the pain. The pain's giving you the pain is telling you where to go, isn't it?
Totally, yeah. It's the motivation of it, isn't it?
That's the other message maybe we give people these days, is that pain is bad, but pain is a signpost.
Totally.
Stop doing this, go do this.
Yeah, definitely. It's your biggest motivation. Your pain is your motivation out of where you are to really hit where you are. The thing is with all these things as well, they're not easy. To be real to yourself is a very courageous thing to do, because you're choosing to be responsible. And your responsibility is not an easy thing, because that means that you have got to talk and not be all the things you want to be. So if you're in a relationship and you want a hug, you're going to have to be selfless to give that person your selflessness, because you'll want them to be with you. So that means that you're going to have to let go of all the things that you felt were, you have to rebirth yourself into letting all your big person ego go of yourself to be selfless, to encourage a relationship. That takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of place to start. You haven't got no skills when you do that, so you think you're stupid or rubbish at it, and it takes a lot of faith to know that you're going to have the confidence, or you're going to be rewarded by letting yourself be selfless and having faith in the reward of being with a person. And that takes so much courage from being a young man, you know what I mean?
Relationships. Well, all these things are complicated, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
And it all is about the ego at the end of the day. And it's a way of understanding yourselves. And a relationship will push different buttons than other things in the world, right?
Yeah, in relationship to yourself, obviously, yeah.
Yeah, and it'll force you to try to come to that relationship with the right energy if you want to get the right energy back. You mentioned dancing. I want to talk about dancing, because it was probably the second thing I noticed about you was, here is this guy dancing. Free, dancing, doesn't care, is even talking about what you're doing. You're like, I'm loosening things up. You got your crazy vinyl collection in your room. And I started dancing about 6 years ago. I started breakdancing. Yeah. And it because
I was brilliant, man.
Yeah, it was amazing. I was with Ido Portal, and he got me moving and kind of improvising and doing the animal movements. And one day I was on the ground doing a lizard walk, and Ido used to say, if you haven't been thrown out of your gym, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah, definitely.
So I was doing a lizard walk behind the treadmills one day, and I was down on the ground. I was like, this feels like breakdancing. So I started breakdancing, but it was hard for me to dance, because as men, I don't know if we're taught that it's not masculine to dance. And so when you first start doing it, you're just so subconscious. I remember in school and the dances when I was 12 years old, I couldn't dance. No. I couldn't dance with the girls, and it was such a block. But now that I've gotten to the point, like, I love it. And I realized it was probably the first way we ever communicated with each other. With our body.
Spiritual, man.
With our body.
Dancing with fire and playing.
And it was a great way to express yourself. And it's a beautiful thing. But I would say 99% of men can't do that.
No, it's definitely a vulnerable situation to open yourself.
Was it hard for you to do? Because it looks like it was always easy for you, Matthew.
Well, when I was 16, I got offered a job as a bouncer, and because I was into training from 14, so I ended up being quite a big lad. And because I was at the college, this roaming sort of disco party for the college students, and I got invited to be the bouncer at Rome. And because I was a younger age, it's probably easier to be a bouncer and help people not to get too annoyed. And but I got the sack for being the first dancing bouncer. And because I danced and the girls were there, and I couldn't help but, like, obviously I'm a male, and we're in nature, we're here to mate, we're here to get all our testosterone going. I'm a 16-year-old young man, and I'm feeling attractive, and the girls are talking, and I'm like a bouncer, you know, like. And then so I started dancing, and after about 5 times going out, I got the sack for dancing. So I think dancing has been a fun thing, which is a natural thing. And then obviously coming out of dancing for a bouncer, and then I went in the forces for a year, but I come back out and it was the rave scene. So then we got back into the rave scene. And then I spent 7 years dancing just to every legal rave, every party, every what they called, I can't remember what they're called, but like just roundhouses or derelict places where there's no law at all, and dancing all night long for 24 hours. And I was free enough to dance 24 hours and be the last on the dance floor, and going home with a group of people. And then you often go to after parties, so then you go like finish there, and then what are you doing? And we end up around some decks, around another record, down someone's cellar or around my cellar, or because I had cellar, I've always had 1210s and decks, so I was always doing that type of stuff. And we'd end up all raving and partying till Sunday night, and then we'd all carry on with our week. So dancing's definitely, I was brought up with a lot of the lads from Essex and from the rave scene, all the Prodigy boys, and so being invited with my mate Jamie and that, because we used to do a lot of DJing, so we was always out and about, and I used to get in all the places where the Prodigy were playing, and we'd be in the guest rooms upstairs. So then we'd always be trying to windmill and try and dance and do all these different things. So that's certainly an interesting era, and then that sort of all died down, and I got kids at 25 and started to carry on a bit of a normal life. Still always had my decks, all had the music, so I was always into reggae, into moving about, and then it was as the few years went past where it was sort of in the decks with everything was there. We've been a bit more quiet for 7-8 years, and I got divorced from my first wife, and then I ended up going to Australia, and then sort of life carried on over there and got into raw food and foods. But dancing's always been part of it, but the inhibitions bit is where dancing come in a lot more, because I started to do stuff where I felt that big alpha males were doing stuff and it was holding me back. Hence, I talked about it earlier, where I was being held back from all my inhibitions and these feelings. So I become very, very interested in feelings and why I was not doing these things, and I knew they was holding me back. So like you said, being fearful of how that felt in your blood and how it felt as a male to be prancing and dancing and moving around is a very, very vulnerable thing to do, because it's up for alpha males. They're fearful of that, so they will, to make them feel like they haven't got to do that, they're going to poke and they're going to hate, because everybody wants to really dance, whether it's in bed, whether it's moving around with feelings, or expressing even anger of dancing. I feel like it's a major, like you said, historically, dancing come back from the trees dance, if you like, wind dances, everything dances in life. And I think thousands of years ago, we had our heartbeats and we had our feet and we had fires, and the most interactions of, I'd look at you and we'd dance and smiles, and interaction would be like, we'd smile at each other and we'd infuse the situation. And I think nature and birds, and like birds have colourful stuff, and tribes have colourful things, and they put crazy stuff on their bodies, and birds grow the craziest colourful feathers to promote this connection of mating, or connection of life. Really, it's like it's a one thing, and when you get that, that's where we're coming from. Like, that one thing's always been there. I'll go on another story, but it's social media and having a box and making you stand there is making us come away from interaction. But I keep picturing a fire when it dances as well, and the little flickers of, and people round fires in the realm of time, and beats of hearts, and the beats of breathing, and the beats of sunrises and moons, and there's a full cycle and stepping stones of our life towards beats, music, noises, and music of all the creatures and animals. Back in the day, you'd notice, if you was a nomad, you'd be travelling and you'd hear a bird in the tree, and you know that fruit's ready, and just everything's giving us cycles, and everything's giving us beats, and everything's breathing, and everything's alive, and you used to worship the sun. The sun was the most beautiful light, which makes you want to bow. There's movements we all do, and it's all a dance. It's all it's all not necessarily it's all a dance, and it's very, very, very gently intertwined into all our blood, and it's our eternal, it's our openness, it's our wideness, it's a way of escaping our own sense of, we can bring ourselves in to be small, but we can also widen ourselves to be open. And I think dancing opens us up to be able to express how we feel. We all dance differently. And it's a very, very connective, beautiful, beautiful thing to look in people's eyes, see smiles, feel the rush of a certain song, feel the sensitivity of a bit of music, and to look at someone else express how that music comes across to them. And I think we must have all cried with music. I don't think there's anybody on the planet who hasn't dropped a tear because of some song hit them. And music's an amazing thing. And especially if you're breaking up or things are happening in life, you always remember that tune. You was going up the road. I remember, when I first finished my wife, it's really sad for me. And there's certain songs on the radio or whatever, and I was driving along, heartfelt, deep in my heart about losing my stuff on my wife and kids, and moving away from what I thought was in my mind was the right place. And the songs and that I still remember, if I hear them now, it just goes, boom, have that. And I feel like music eternally in our genetics is, you hear music and it portrays a vibrance, a vibration, and it'll make you cry, it'll make you move, it'll make you swing, it'll make you do everything that you don't even know you're going to do. And it just comes up. You could have one tune, another tune, another tune. Each one of them will make you dance different.
It reminds us that we're all connected.
Yeah.
And it's very subconscious.
Very, very natural thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and it just reminds us, even though you don't have to tell someone, it just shows us. Matter of fact, the rest of the world could be denying that we're all connected. They could be telling you we're all individuals, but when you hear the music, you know that we're all connected somehow. And I think that's what a lot of people feel.
It comes from Wales. They all sing. There's birds sing. Cockroach, the grasshoppers all put a vibration out. They all get millions of vibration things together to cause a vibe. The wind to bang the chimes, it'll bang the trees, it'll bang the doors. You know what I mean? It's all. And if you start listening, you'll really hear it as well. Like if you think about the wind and suddenly you become aware, you'll feel the wind on your face. If you go and listen for music, you'll hear the songs, the morning songs of the birds. You hear when I go out flying, you hear the call of the eagle, and it goes like wah, wah, and it's flying and it's enjoying what it's doing. If you go and watch the crows and you're flying around, they all jump up to 700 feet or whatever. They all combine together and they all make wah 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 wah, this joyful noise, and then they go and fly back down and go and carry on with their lives again. But there's always there's an expression with it. There's like if you get sad, you'll listen to a certain type of music. If you get happy and you're joyful, you'll tune into a certain type of music. But it's all created because you was on a vibe anyway. All those musics are hitting you because that was on a vibe when it was made. That was a music vibe. That was a vibration. That was like something, you get on the right vibe, authentic, real vibes, and you know that's real. Like if I give an authentic vibration, and we will cry, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I try and bring it out as a false vibration or try and impose, I'm going to impose something, that's me in my mind. That's not going to get the vibration. But if you pull something out of your heart and you send that out there, like you send that with your vibration, not expecting nothing, not wanting nothing, not needing nothing, but you give that, that's to me, that's total truth. That's total, that's what I don't want to get in the way of that. Don't let me get in the way of myself. Do you know what I mean?
You said earlier that you feel very emotional about your followers, but you also said that they then feed back to you and maybe push you to the next level. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, I'd say that's the confidence of not being an imposter, because we all feel like imposters, and imposter is a used word, but everybody doesn't feel worthy, and I'd let everybody know that we don't feel worthy.
Including Silverback Tarzan?
Including Silverback Tarzan, I think yourself, and I think anybody, I don't care who they are, you sort of gain the confidence by the things that you do, by the feed, by the connection of feed, and by doing the things what you do creates that confidence, and by having me being authentic, and not even saying I'm authentic, but like by me trying to work out myself and trying to be myself is coming back as a circle of not hippyish, but love. It's circling back as love. So I'm giving out my vulnerability, and they're noticing my vulnerability and helping me be okay with vulnerability.
Is that one of your inhibitions, being vulnerable?
Definitely, yeah. Vulnerable is a huge inhibition. That's like one of the biggest things in the world, to be vulnerable. That's like really, really, everybody's vulnerable, because, well, it's a long story, because we're in an economic world. So economics, and you'd normally be in a tribe and we'd be all together. We'd have me, you, and my granddad, and your granddad, and their auntie, and everybody's auntie, and my kids would go and play with their aunties all day, and we'd all just be a tribe. But now we're taught to be individuals, and individuality is not where we come from. That's not us at all. And it's making us all ill, because we're all chasing individuality towards something that's not even real. Your car, your house, everything else. You're being chased into singularity of a non-connectiveness. So when I'm being vulnerable and I'm getting connection, it overwhelms me.
Yeah.
It's an overwhelming feeling, because it's like, oh my God, do you know what I mean? I've got my auntie and my uncle, I've got my family, do you know what I mean?
And it pushes you to do more and go deeper.
It makes me feel the freedom of myself and don't let nothing get in the way. Just because it's all happening right now and you can't repeat it. And it's creation's going boom, 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 boom. And I've created that connection, and I want to, by having the connection with everybody, the causing a vibration, and let's keep whooshing it up. Let's keep whooshing, let's keep it going, let's keep it going. Don't think, don't get involved in it. Don't trip it up. Don't try and play with it. Just can I be myself? And everything says what it's going to do. I'm not telling it what to do. I'm being shown by what I'm doing. So I'm observing the situation, and then I'm feeling that flow of myself, and then the purity of creation should not be taken over by my mind. Can I keep myself from not getting in the way of myself? And my support, those beautiful people help me realise myself. So then that way it holds the flow, if you like, of energy that's going through us and through the universe and here. And by flowing out, we can all help to feel this feeling. And when you get that feeling, you don't want hate, even though it's a part of the abundance. You're trying to create, and that means that you want a world where you can have the baby, and we can all stroke the baby without feeling insecure, without feeling our ego's going to be hit, without feeling like I need to be the man, I can't touch that. So just to create everybody to be in a state of flow in their lives will give them the most magical experience, to feel like they had a beautiful time on the planet Earth in this short amount of time that you're here, which is very, very tiny. So like time don't exist or nothing exists, you're making it all up. And by all these things you're making up, you're causing all these problems, you're causing all these idealistic ideas. But can you get rid of that and just be with that? Because all those things will be there, but all you need to do is not try and grab them. Can you stay with your own flow, so the abundance is there, and you're not putting your attention into that situation, but you're helping it be part of what the situation is, of the feeling that you're portraying, of what everyone gives of support. the support of that beautifulness. That's what we all want. Like if you support a flower or you support an animal and you give it the best nutrients, the most hugs, the best sort of like environment it can live, it will show its best fur or like feathers or whatever it is, or best petals. It will show no nutrient deficiencies. It will glow like the flower will glow. It will wave in the wind, the roots will be strong. All the birds and bees will come to it, and it's the most fertile thing it could ever be.
To continue watching the rest of the episode for free, visit our website londonreal.tv or click the link in the description below.
So Jim Rickards has just recorded a video that's not available to anyone in the public, and he's going to be talking about how this upcoming recession is going to be fast, it's going to be bloody, it's going to be nasty. But at the same time, he's going to show you how you can position yourself to profit from all of this chaos. Now, we've made this video only available to our viewers. Go to londonreal.tv/Jim. Watch that immediately. I can't say enough good things about Jim Rickards. He understands the global economic system better than any guest I've ever had on London Real. His predictions are almost uncannily true, and you can learn how to profit from his vision, from his expertise, and his understanding of economics. So go to londonreal.tv/Jim or click the link below. It's an excellent, excellent look on what's going to happen in the future and how you can position yourself to profit from that. Jim is one of the best in the business, one of my favorite guests on London Real, and he's very, very good at predicting the future and showing us all to profit from it. So click the link, and I hope you enjoy. Hey, it's Brian Rose, founder of the DeFi Academy. I've told you my 4-week crypto bootcamp is amazing, but don't take my word for it. This is what my students are saying.
The DeFi Academy was an amazing experience for me. It took me totally out of my comfort zone.
In this course, I was challenged, I was held accountable, and pushed to do things that honestly weren't always easy.
It's been phenomenal, and I can't believe we're already up on our 4 weeks. It has flown by.
Going through this DeFi accelerator by far was one of the best courses I've taken.
You do this course, you really get into the nitty-gritty of the activities that will make you comfortable with decentralized finance.
Thank you so much to Brian and everyone at London Real and the DeFi Academy for even putting together an amazing course like this.
Anybody else that wants to do it, please sign up. It is well worth the money.
Hi, it's Brian Rose from London Real. You probably know that we've just recently been re-platformed on YouTube after 25 months completely in the dark. The truth is, I really need your help. What I really need you to do is click on that subscribe button right now, like this video, and maybe even leave a comment or share the link with friends. We're really fighting against an algorithm that's tried to keep us quiet for so long, and the more subscribers we have, the more people watch our content, the better guests we can bring you, the better content, and we can continue transforming lives. We've been doing this for 14 years now. I want to do this for another 14 years, but I really need your help. So click on that subscribe button, like the video, leave a comment, share this, and we're going to continue to bring you more and more great content. Thank you. Most people will never see this opportunity. Dubai luxury transformation projects have historically delivered 40 to 90% annual returns. That is incredible. These were once reserved only for insiders with access. I spent 15 years on Wall Street, and I learned this: the biggest returns always go to the people who get the call first. Now, you finally can. We've just received a brand new project with major upside potential. Allocations move fast. Click the link, apply now, and speak to my team. This is your chance to see what others never will.